This week's episode of the Indian Dots podcast, we discuss how electricity runs in the UK on the tubes because, you know, I had a question. I figured it out. Also, travelling with your father-in-law. What's that like? Karan dropped some knowledge, medical knowledge on chest pain, which you got to check out and listen to. Definitely worth it. I learned something. Therefore, you're definitely going to learn something because I'm thick. Anyway, Karan paid a lot for boxes and he's very upset. Got to listen to that. And also, he did a live performance, but not a Bhangra one, a different one. Check out what it is in the next bit coming up. Laters. What's happening, people? What's happening, Doctor? Tell me, how you been?
I'll tell you what, man. It's so nice that actually the weather's improved today. Last week when we podcast, it was late in the day. I was tired. You were tired. Camera issues, and it was so bloody hot, man. And you just, I appreciate now. That when we podcast when we're cool, like it's just a nice feeling. So,
mate, speak for yourself. I'm fucking roasting in the flat. To be honest, it's been
roasting because it's hot. Or roasting because you're cold?
No, it just won't release heat all day. It's just been warm all day, and I've been here in the flat, and I've had like a cooler on, but it's just the heat's sticking, and I'm like, whoa.
Let me tell you something about that then. So, you know, we're in England. We don't have that many hot days a year. So normally the most of us will do, tongue twister, is get a fan or a cooler, right? But obviously, so we've got a lot of family in India. When we go to India, it's all air-conditioned houses because obviously you need it. Large portion of the time it's very, very hot. So then it's like, well, you know, is there a case to be made for air conditioning here? Well, no, it's probably too expensive. But this year, I've seen a big influx of people buying these portable ACs. So not like hotel grade, fully installed, you know, whole house air conditioning, but just portable ones. Yeah. So Kenny's got a couple in Surrey, and so he ordered one here because he's coming for the week and he's like, I need to be comfortable. So he ordered one.
High maintenance, eh?
Love it, man. Kenny, man, he's bougie. So 150 quid.
Does it live at yours now? If you keep it there, you're going to leave it there. It's going to live there, yeah?
This is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing. He said, yeah, he's going to leave it here. So
negotiation tactics, I like it.
Off the board deals. So guys, reference there when Indy Sanj and I played Monopoly. I was offering some off the board deals which were quickly snapped up. It's not really in the rules, but there are no rules when it comes to
win the game.
And
he offered real life shit in exchange. Like, I'll do the dishes if you give me that.
No. I didn't put myself down. I was offering other things, and people were just snapping it up.
Oh, okay. What
the thing is, here's the best
other great intangibles.
I said, Indy, I will fund the building of a couple of houses in a hotel if you give me rent free and all your properties throughout the game. And so it went really well. So guys, if you want to know more about that, just hit me up. Going back to it.
Never played me again. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah. Portable air conditioning units, super impressed. We had a guy the other day, he was around to one of our friends, he's an engineer, and we said, like, you know, what would it cost if we wanted to properly install air conditioning so it's just there and we can use it like hotel vents? He's like, you know, probably £1,200 per room. And he goes, the main cost really is the piping, you know, and obviously all that kind of work. And so then we looked at these things that Kenny's bought. You know, if you had 4 of those, 2 upstairs, 2 downstairs, less than 500 quid. That's right? No, 600 quid. I was like, wow, that's just a no-brainer. And just super impressed. And I think going forward now, we're at least going to have 1 downstairs, 1 upstairs. So yeah, definitely worth looking into, man. 150 quid, and I'm just super impressed. 20 minutes, room is cool. Really
interesting.
Yeah, never needed it, but this year, just, man. Hot.
It's only going to get more extreme with how the world's going. So
especially you guys in London, man. It's always hotter in London.
A part of me thought, is it worth setting up an air conditioning like business genuinely? Because I was like, it's going to boom. It's only going to get bigger and bigger from here onwards.
Indy cools,
mate.
Indy coolers.
Ooh. And I like being cold, you know. I'm that guy.
By Indy.
Nah, that doesn't mean Indy coolers is better. Nah.
Indy's going to keep you cool. That's it. Male escort service.
How about Icy Indies?
Icy Indies. Hello.
Icy Indies. Icy Indies. There you go.
I like you. Yeah. You're my boyfriend. He is.
Oh man. Time. Well, I'm glad you're gonna get some aircon stuff. I went to see Diljit with Dosanjh on the weekend, man. On the weekend last Friday.
Goat. You saw the goat.
Friday. Mate, he has a song called Goat, ain't he?
But I know. Look, man.
I didn't know this, but apparently he officially became the first Punjabi artist to sell out the biggest venue in England. So Gurdas had 16,000.
Right.
He hit 17,000 at the O2.
Which arena is this? Sorry, Wembley.
The O2. Yeah.
I think the only other person who's done that, not an artist, but of brown skin color, is Paul Chowdhury. So
this is
mad.
just for singing, though, isn't it? It
But
was
mad.
unbelievable.
Diljit is one of those guys, and he's just got mass appeal, man. I mean, from Lakha 28, I remember when that song was out, and this is when I used to like DJ.
That was a Bearsharam song, man.
yeah. And like, I get requests for it, and I was doing like family parties and stuff, and I'm like, that's a shit song, man. I'm not playing that song. Like,
Yeah, but I could do the voice, Karan. I could do the goody voice. No, you know the little noise she makes in the song. I had it down to a T.
You're gonna have
to
to
the
do
point
it.
where
you
like,
can't say that on.
I'm
a
not
podcast,
doing it
I'm
right
not
now. My mum.
Guys, we're gonna put this
on
onto poll. If you want to hear Indy do that, and if Indy doesn't do it after polling, then Karan, me, Jazz will leave the podcast. Then you need to tell him, make him do the noise.
That's one for next week.
And
but
he's
yeah,
also very
man,
good at dog noises, woof woof noises. So ask him about that as well.
Thank you, man. So I was very, very happy to see him. To be fair, because I wasn't excited about it. I'll be honest. I've seen him twice before.
Oh wow!
The first time I went, I went with Sanj and a couple other people, and this is when we were friends back in like 2014.
Oh, yeah.
What happened was
friends.
We actually were friends. Yeah, seriously.
Holding hands.
No, friends. So my suitcase got stolen. I left it in the cloakroom, and they gave it away to the wrong thing, and I had no clothes, and I lost my laptop and everything.
Oh,
and
shit.
Just by chance, the Singh was actually a nice guy, and he called. What was it? He called the number on the Dechi, which was my mum's number, saying, "I haven't looked in the suitcase, but this is not mine." I just picked it up and threw it in my boot. He said, luckily, he was somewhere in Wolves. Bear in mind, he was in London the day before. I got back to Birmingham. I was lucky as hell. I was like, I've lost everything, right? And then he said, come and collect it. So I went and collected it. And it's just the good nature of people, really, that I managed to get it back. Because most people
Here's the question, though. Here's the question. Obviously, you've had a really good result there, and obviously all because of your mum doing the Desi thing and having the name, maybe not the
having the name on the Dechi.
Do you now do this practice? Have you done this?
I haven't, to be fair. I need to.
You should.
What I learned was don't leave stuff at venues ever. Only leave it at a hotel. Don't leave it in venues. Even leaving it in a hotel concierge is a bit dodgy.
Back up in the story, like you've gone to a Diljit concert with a Dechi, like just tell me through that.
Yeah, because I made it to London late and I had to get to Wembley. So I got to Wembley. I was meant to drop off my stuff at a friend's house before. And I got to Wembley late. So I was like, well, let me just throw it in the cloakroom. It'll be fine. And I did. And then when I came to collect it at the end, the woman like completely shit herself because she's like, your suitcase isn't here, and she knew that she gave it to someone else. And I was like, you fucked up.
What do you mean? You gave it to someone else? You
completely fucked up. And they had this disclaimer on the wall saying all items left here are at your own risk. And I was like, well,
like a standard
that essentially clears them of anything that I wanted to do.
Yeah, true.
So
basic incompetence. I mean, that's just
yeah. So just by chance, I got it back, which was great, and that worked out. So
the first
I got
time
lucky.
I saw Diljit.
That was the first time I saw him. Second time was in 2016. Gone.
Yeah, and I was going to say, your Dechi thing was after the performance. It didn't affect you watching him. You didn't know at this point.
No, it was after.
Yeah, fine. So number 2?
So I remember nothing from that whole performance, just that. Right. And this is his Back to Basics tour. So that was his first album with True School.
Oh, True
Then
School,
2016, he came back to England. I saw him in Birmingham.
Pre-TBC or post-TBC?
Like May, June 2016. That's when I saw him.
Oh, man, we were getting ready for the comp, man. This affected your performance.
So I went on a Saturday night. It was fine, thank you. It was fine.
Training, mate. Okay, that's it. Okay.
So went on a Saturday night. That was cool. Yeah. And then this time I was like, do I want to go? And Sanj said, I want to go. I said, all right, if you want to go and you can't find anyone else, I'll go with you. She was going to take her sister.
Just for like backstory, Sanj is like hardcore, diehard Diljit fan, or?
Sanj is such a diehard Bhangra fan that I don't call her simply Bhangra, I call her simply Sanj, because genuinely she could run her own website for simplybhangra.com. For those that don't get the reference.
She has created.
She did, but she kind of put it on pause. But simplybhangra.com is a website that everyone uses to find the latest Bhangra songs. Well, they used to. Now it's a different game. But yeah, I called her that. And I gave her that nickname early.
Simply Sanj.
Simply Sanj.
We need to brand that.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Simply Sanj. So... Great. So we get to the concert. It's semi-packed, and we got there a bit late, but we ate food prior. And there were loads of people eating food as well. I was like, oh, there's no rush. Desi timing. They're not going to start it without everyone being seated or, everyone being there. And went inside the venue. It was all cool. And we're sitting, you know, there's like stalls at the bottom, and then there's like just starting to tier. We got like the third or fourth seat back, which is just enough tier, so you're like kind of at eye level with him.
Perfect.
So it was decent. So I was really happy with the seats. And as soon as he walks out, everyone's going wild. No, he hasn't even come out at this point. They put like a promo on the screen. Everyone starts standing up. There's an auntie next to me who's getting upset, or next to Sanj, sorry, who's getting upset because she can't see. So I was like, I was saying to people in front, can you sit? And they were like, yeah, fine. So the people sat. The last guy at the front, he wouldn't sit. And he said, I can't see because everyone in front of me is standing up. And I was like, well, but there was a sizable gap that he could see, but maybe he was Gucci and he was tiny. I don't know. So anyway.
All right, mate.
Fine. So fine. He stood up. Then as soon as he came on stage, everyone stood up. I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this then. And the whole time it was just standing, pretty much.
Huh? The whole time it was standing?
The whole time it was standing. The whole time it was standing,
okay.
yeah.
There
was no seated.
I've been at shows before, like even, Jay-Z, Kanye, like, okay, they come out, you give their reception, standing ovation. But after that, you kind of just, you've got the standing seats generally, main concerts, and then you have the seated seats. So did this
but everything was seated.
Okay. So there wasn't like a standing section as such.
Yeah. Everything seated. So
but not
it was nice, man. He was really good. He brought really good energy. I was really happy that I got to see him. And what I respect about him is that he had people there from all different ages. He had auntiyan, bibiyan, kids. He had like middle-aged people, 30s, 40s. He catered to everybody. And I was thinking, you've dominated this whole market because you have this mass appeal that everyone wants to come and see you.
That's it.
Absolute genius. So I thought, wow, that's taken a long time for you to embed. And I was just really pleased with his performance. I was really happy.
Apparently he's been in the game 20 years, and I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it doesn't feel like, Diljit's been around that long. But that's longevity, man. That's crazy respect. He makes clean songs.
Big time.
Big time, good lyrics.
Well, clean-ish. I think he has some random songs, some good songs, some meaningful songs, etc.
Yeah. I think one thing he's done well, which I don't know if he started this trend, but if you take a song like Ajidan Kushiyanda, okay?
Yeah.
Shinda, back in the day, standard wedding song, a marathon of a song, you're talking like 7 minutes long, right? And you look at the stuff and he puts out, like Vibe, Banjatad, all these things. He started this trend where he'd do like 2-3 minute songs. And Ben, I was like,
no, he didn't start it. He didn't start it. Everyone started doing that.
He does it a lot, and I was like, changed. But now
everyone started it because it all became about streams, and streams and attention became smaller. So therefore, if you wanted to get paid from streaming services, you had to have
listen. Yeah,
100%. You have to listen, and they count listens, and you get paid. So if you have a shorter listening time, people pay you more. That's how that's why they all started to get smaller and smaller in sort of time.
It's good, man. Like we've been to wedding parties, right? And the DJ's playing the song. Like, you don't want to hear the whole song. Like, you just want to have your little bit, you go crazy, and then mix, then next, then next, then next. Our attention span now, I can't listen to a full song anymore, like, which is why most of what I listen to Punjabi-wise is mix-based now. So, yeah, I like it. But anyway, he's great eyes, great performer. I think we are still umming and ahhing about seeing him in Leeds.
You got to go. Goran, you have to go. Honestly, I was blown away. Like, I haven't been to an event like that by a Punjabi singer ever. So I was very surprised, and he was on par with like an English owned performer because he did the special effects. He brought out a bunch of special effects, a bunch of fire, etc. It wasn't just like standard come up, sing and go. It was he made it an actual entertaining show, and he had an outfit change, and he had an intermission. So he did a full performance twice, and he was very impressive. I was really happy.
Physically, how did he look physically?
Fine.
As in, he's getting ready for a film. Just on the Gala film, and I've seen some previous ones, I think in America, where he looks very cachectic, like he's lost a lot of weight. No, not lean, like he looks like he's unwell, like baggy. And I was a bit concerned when I first saw it, and then I read about, he's getting ready for this film, and there's a certain look he's going to.
I think he looked fine. I think he looked like his normal size. He looked a little bit bigger, in fairness, in terms of like size, which is good.
What colour the style did he wear?
Oh, mate, you're asking specifics there. He wore Bhangra Bag at first with a side door line black. And then I think he wore a red bug after. I think. Could be wrong.
That was on his that album.
Or a white bug. You know what? If you tell me the colour bug now, I couldn't tell you. I need to look at the videos.
Okay.
I have this weird thing where, like, if you tell me a person and put a bug on them and get me to envision it, I can envision every colour. It's really weird. It's not good. It ruins my memory.
Some people have great talents in this world and gone to get Nobel
Yes.
Peace Prize, and you, my friend, can imagine people in Pagga. That is your special gift.
Yes, I could definitely do that. Yes.
You know, in
So-
Canto,
Mhm,
if you went
mhm.
through the thing, the door, the magic thing, that would be your
Yes.
thing, man.
That would definitely be my thing.
That would be your
100%.
thing.
Thank you.
Lucky to
Thank
have
you.
you, man. Really lucky.
Cheers, man.
I'm so
I
fortunate
appreciate
and
it.
blessed to be in your present. Can you
That
think
means that
about
I have imagination and creativity.
look, you're creative. I mean, there's no two ways around that. We've said that. about
Yeah,
you from day one.
exactly.
So, can you imagine me right now with a orange bug? Go.
Yeah.
Got it?
The
Got the
reason
image?
why is because your profile picture on WhatsApp is a picture
not
of
orange.
you in a bug.
Not orange. Yeah. Okay. it's
Yeah,
not
but
orange.
I
You
can
can
imagine
swap
it being orange right now.
Okay,
yeah.
go purple. These are colors I never wear. That's why
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I can see purple, but it wouldn't go with the outfit you're wearing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're talented, man.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man. I could be
it's
chatting
good.
shit to you.
No,
this
no,
is
no.
great.
But the way your eyes go up, and then you.
I'm looking in the distance.
Yeah, there,
I'm
you're
like,
there. You're going for it.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm actually going through it. Yeah, I'm trying it.
Excellent. Okay.
So yeah, rated to Diljit. Very happy, very impressed. Go and see him. Don't second guess it. You won't regret it. And you'll be impressed, genuinely.
No, I do want to see him. It's definitely something. I think had the wedding, my brother-in-law's wedding, not been so close, then it would have been a no-brainer. And this year in general, man, like I was looking the other day at my Google Drive, I think I'm getting close to 20 live performers I've seen, man, this year. It's been a big year. Seeing
You
people.
kept count.
Yeah, no, I haven't kept count. It's just I was looking at it. I was like, wow, I've seen a lot of people this year. And I thought, how many are
Go
there?
on, you definitely kept count.
No, I didn't keep count. We booked all these things like Christmas last year. I've just booked Jordan
Mhm.
Peterson as well. And then if we take Diljit, I think it'll be more than 20 now. I was like, wow, we've seen a lot of people, man. One of the people that we saw this year was Arjit Singh. So Arjit Singh is also a great singer. Again, someone whose songs I've heard about for a long time. On my wedding day, 5 years ago nearly, I sang his Tum Hi Ho to Shindy. You were
Mhm.
there.
I remember that.
You remember that? And when I
How
saw
could
him
I forget?
in person, my God, this guy's a rock star, man. Plays piano, about 4 different guitars. He's jumping around the stage. His band was all. It's proper like a rock concert. Probably
Impressive.
the best Hindi like live performance I've ever seen. I was like, next time I'm going front row. So with him in
Fair
mind,
play.
yes, yesterday was the Junni event for my brother-in-law and for Pavan, who'll be coming into the family. So he's at the motorcycle museum, and she'd asked me, Shindy, and Shindy's sister Rupa to do a performance
What event was this for? Sorry,
at Junni.
Chunni. Okay, yeah.
Junni, yeah. So we did a medley of songs, Punjabi, Hindi, English, and it was very well
English.
received.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I sang John Legend, All of Me. Went down really well.
Oi,
I'll
oi.
release some of the recordings very soon. So
Yes,
we
please.
got to the venue early. Harvey, who you know, Sound Control, was DJing,
Yeah.
and we did essentially a run through with the mics on, and we were like, okay, perfect. Now we know what our voice sounds like with the mic. And then it came to obviously like, you know, performance time, and the crowd was good. As in, we said to them, look, we don't want you sitting there. Get your chairs, get on the dance floor, have a dance, get involved. You know, put your
Get
hands
your
on the-
chairs and bring your chairs to the dance floor.
Yeah, that's actually what we did. We said we don't want to. We don't see. You know, we don't want you sitting at the tables just being passive. Like, just get here. We want to hear you sing as well. Really well received, and you know, within a couple of songs, people were dancing, and it was just it was just a brilliant experience, man. And just that feeling where you can let go because you're confident you're going to hit the notes is a great feeling. Because when I said to the crowd yesterday, I was like, look, singing in the shower, one thing; singing in the car, one thing; live audience, when like, okay, you've got the actual singer singing on the track, but it's lower down, your mic goes up, and it's just like, ooh, it's a different game, man. And we had
That
some
takes
really
balls,
good
man.
feedback. Yeah. I had so many people come up to me like, "Oh, like Baji, you did really well," and it was just really nice. It was really humbling.
And you're like, yeah, the podcast really made me do this. Like, it made me take this big step in life.
That's
you
it.
know?
That's what I attribute it all to, man. I'll tell you what.
I know,
There's
man,
one thing which
100%.
I've thought about, which I might as well say on the podcast now. As you know, because you recorded my videos before the content we tried on Instagram. Remember the videos,
Yeah.
the motivational
Yeah.
stuff, right? And then I quickly realized that actually, but my medium isn't really visual; it's audio. That's where I can really get into it. It's my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all the stuff we've had to do for the podcast and all the gear I've got now my other thing that I'm working on, which is developing YouTube videos with essentially just my voiceover, I love it, but I wouldn't be able to do that had I not done the podcast. I've been like, you know, I don't know how many episodes in we're in now. It just feels very easy as a medium. It's very smooth. I can just jump on a mic and talk.
Good.
it's just nice how things fall into place, right? Like we did that testing, fine, and now, yeah, it feels good. So yeah, that was what's up with me, man. So we had live performance, then a Bhangra performance, and I was tired, man. The air conditioning wasn't working. I was telling somebody today, I said I got in the car, right? So I was wearing a velvet smoking jacket, okay? Very heavy, double-breasted, like Hugh Hefner kind of style. And so I got in the car and my shirt is wringing wet, and then but it's still hot, so you put the air conditioning on, then you got cold air hitting a wet shirt.
It's not comfortable. You want to let it dry.
Yeah, but you're hot, so it's just like you have to do it. And I was just like, oh man, when I got back, just yeah. But I'm happy. It's cooler now, and the rest of the events I think it's going to be cooler weather. So yeah, bro, that is what's up with me.
Sweet. I'm happy. I'm proud of you. Well done, man. That takes balls. Drop us the clips and we'll put it on the podcast IG page. Oi, oi. Drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts on Karan's notes that he thinks he's hitting there. Me, I've heard him do better personally, but yeah. All right. Switch segments. Yeah. Next segment. Doctor. Confessions of a married man. What's happening? Man. Tell me about your confessions.
I'm married.
Thanks.
Yeah, just let anyone know I'm married.
Yeah, after you dropping that lovely little note at the end there, I think you should tell people you're married. Yeah, stop all the ladies, you know.
Oh man, you know what they say, man. Once you're married, you become much more appealing. So definitely the case for anyone.
Okay.
No, but have I found that? It's probably more that when you work in a hospital, that kind of environment, I think a bit of banter / flirting goes a long way, right? It just helps you get things done. This isn't the confession, by the way. There's nothing to confess. I'm not saying I'm a big flirter.
No, wow.
Cindy presumes. I was
going to say, this went very left.
All my family, yeah, they all presume that I flirt with Gordy out at work. And they all think it's like, oh, Dr. Jazz.
I presume it too.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone has that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, banter, man. It's all banter. The confession this week was, I can't remember what I was doing. For some reason, I did something and I was like, I'm going to go to Next. And the reason I got to Next is, right, yeah, this is it. So I needed to get some more black socks, thin black socks, obviously very hot. And I mainly wear thick black socks with my trainers and some boxers. So I've got kind of a hybrid mix at the moment. I've got like boxers clearly, which I bought at different times in my life. And I kind of just want to make them uniform now. So I've got like these top man.
Where they're fraying.
Okay. Is that the correct terminology?
They're like, then the elastic in it's like not stretching back to normal. It's like stretching a little bit, and then the top of it starts fraying.
No, I haven't got that. It's even like more weird, man. There's like holes in the pants, and I don't know how they've been formed.
Yeah. That's normal too. I got holes like at the very bottom of my boxes.
Right? Like someone's trying to do something to me. You know what I mean? It's like those type of holes.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and I was like, there's multiple holes, like 1, 2, 3, and I'm showing Shindy, and I'm like, what are you doing to me at night, man? Like, you're like getting a pencil like poking me in the ass.
Do you want to know why that is?
Please enlighten me, man. Because
I figured it out the other day.
I was like, am I doing like vertical? Am I lunging? And then it's just causing...
No. It's simply because when you're sitting on the toilet, yeah, when you pull your pants down and your legs are a little bit wide, it stretches it. And all the tension goes to the bottom there. So that piece of the material...
And it's going like this, it's going in and out continuously over many months or years.
Yeah, and that's the part that takes the force. If you think about it, nothing else in your pants takes the force. That's the bit that does. That's why you get a hole in that very prominent area by your crotch.
Right, you know, and it just looks so weird.
Or scrotum, is it? I guess the medical term is scrotum, isn't it? Yeah.
Scrotal, yeah.
Wow, scrotol. Oh, jeez, I didn't know that.
Toll, yeah. So I was like, probably need some new boxes. This isn't safe now to wear. So I went to Next. Kind of my go-to with, although I'll tell you what's growing on me, man. I never thought at age 32 I'd be a fan. Marks and Spencers. I wasn't gonna say Hackett.
Fucking hell, man.
Right. So where Kenny and Meher live, they have. Like
I'm so disappointed in you, man. Honestly,
just listen. So, for example, on this podcast, you would have seen me wear a duck egg sweatshirt, M&S, right? The quality of some of the clothing. And the lines now, like obviously the connotation that most people have with M&S clothing is, it's for old people, right? And I had that connotation, and we ended up going there with some elderly people in our family. And so you're there. I just had a look around. I was really impressed. I was like, wow, there are some things. Like I've got some nice tapered, jogging bottoms that go in at the bottom. They're like got that elastic thing. I was just so impressed. And anyway,
Karan, how much was it at M&S?
Cheap. It's really cheap. Really reasonable. Like
Go
that
to
sweatshirt.
Uniqlo. It's
Uni?
respectable. Uniqlo.
Oh yeah, that's that brand that used to.
That's respectable. It's cheap. It's affordable, and it doesn't wear. It's really good. So yeah, that's my version of M&S, I guess.
No, what's the problem with M&S? Sorry.
I don't know. I can't get past the old thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't get past the old thing.
The quality is great, man. Anyway, so I went to Next. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my socks. Got the socks. So I got like 8 pairs, maybe more than 8 pairs. 15 quid. I'm like, yep, fine. Then I get to the boxes. I look at the boxes. I don't want any flashy boxes. It's not like I like multiple colored boxes. I'm not one of those guys who needs to wear like Calvin Klein or Polo. I'm not that guy, right? I just want basic black boxes, all the same, right? Or like maybe with just like a grey stripe at the top where it says Next. Box standard. And I want to buy in bulk. I don't want like 1 or 2. I need like a good pack.
Mm-hmm.
£40 for 8 boxes.
For how many? For 8
boxes. That's £5 a boxer. £5 a box. I'm there going in thinking, boxes are going to be like 10 quid, 15 quid, maximum 20 quid. And then I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, this is clearly some sort of special boxer. I don't need the special boxer. I want a standard boxer. So I spent a good 10, 15 minutes like up and down, up and down. Look at every boxer.
Hang on. Are you not happy with this price?
This is extortionate, man. Like my socks are £15.
No, that's not extortionate. Hang on.
No, okay.
Do the maths.
Let me give you the context. Yeah, £5 a boxer. Let me give you the context here.
That's not that much.
The context is I haven't bought boxers in a very long time. So my reference point going in is like I don't have one. So when I saw that, I just thought it seems a lot like for £40, I expect like, I don't know, not 40 boxes, but like 20 boxes or something. Like I'm thinking,
Go Primark, man.
Yeah, no, but obviously. So I was just a bit
okay, so too good for Primark. Okay. Gotcha.
Primark t-shirts are fine. Things are fine.
Listen,
boxes,
if you want the price point, you go to Primark, man. That's it.
Yeah. For certain things, Primark's absolutely fine. No issue, Primark. H&M, Primark, no issue. Certain things. This t-shirt, H&M, no issue. Or was it Primark? I don't know. It's all good.
Next and H&M are virtually on the same level, right?
Are they?
Of like quality. It's sort of in that fast fashion category.
Yeah, I agree.
But £5 a boxer ain't that much, man. Like, watch, if I Google a designer boxer.
Oh, no, but I'm not talking about designer. Why am I going to compare to designer?
No, because then it will give you some context. Hang on, if I do Calvin Klein boxers, yeah.
Gone, yep. 8, gone.
A pack of 3, 20 quid.
So 20 divided by 3?
Is 7
quid.
7-ish, like £6.80 or something.
Okay, so how are you... If you're Calvin Klein, but either that they should be more expensive or the Next should be a lot cheaper, man. There's only a quid, £1.60 difference between what is home own brand Next. I was just no reference point, man. I was just very angry. I was like, obviously I need the boxes, but 40 quid. I was just like, no. And I guess the other thing was this: Shindy had some returns to do, right? So I had these 2 ties, and so I was going to do exchange. So I was like, mate. I'm just going to
it's going to be like a free return, balance out, zero.
And then so I don't know at this point. I don't know how much the ties are worth either. And so as I'm waiting at the till, she's like, yeah, £40 to pay. And I was like, is that with the, taking off? And she's like, yeah. Oh. And I was like, oh, man. Of course.
How much were the ties?
I think they're 16 quid. 2 ties. Ties are cheap.
Okay, you bought some socks as well, right?
Yeah. So basically the socks are free. I got the socks free and then I paid for the boxes, essentially. Yeah.
My heart bleeds for you, honestly.
No, it's I don't know. Maybe, like, I just clearly don't know what boxes cost. I was like...
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. Boxes aren't cheap, man. This is why...
10 to 20 pounds was my range I was going in with. That's what I was thinking.
This is why guys have holes in their boxes, because they can't be bothered to invest in new ones. They'd rather buy a new t-shirt than invest in boxes. Because who sees it really except for you? I got holes in mine. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to know that.
You just told me you got holes in yours.
There's a reason for telling you.
Why?
Segment. I didn't want to tell you that.
Yeah, I'm trying to relate to you and make you feel better.
No, I don't feel bad. You need to buy some more boxes. That doesn't make me feel better.
Oh, shut up. There you go.
Yeah.
Next birthday present for me, then there you go. Thank you. I'll take it, actually. I'll take
I'm
it.
gonna buy
Last
some
year
very
was socks.
expensive.
This year,
Yeah.
boxes.
Oh,
Happy
the
days.
weird
Finger socks. Love it.
toe socks.
Love it.
Yeah.
Which I've
Okay.
all thrown away now because they all had holes in. But yeah, I wore them
You've
wore them
clearly got
to
a
a
thing
T.
about making holes and things, haven't you? Yeah.
Clearly, 100%. Right. Mine is
Yours.
I got insured on my father-in-law's car this weekend, right? Because he had to do a long drive to go to Swindon and back. And Goran, I felt like it was a driving test for
Wait,
2.5 hours.
Who's in the car?
Me, Sanj, her sister, and my father-in-law.
Sanj,
Yeah,
sister, father-in-law. Okay, who's in the car? Father-in-law.
me and my father-in-law. So he drove there. Yeah,
Oh, he drove. So he drove.
Yeah,
You're in the passenger seat.
yeah. So he drove there, and he wanted me in the front because
Yeah.
a couple of days before, I went to him. Kind of, I went with him to the Mercedes garage, right?
What is the role of the person in the front?
If you let me explain before interrupting, I can tell you, innit?
Go on.
This guy, man. All right, so
Yeah.
basically,
Mercedes.
what happened was
Mm.
Mercedes went to the Mercedes garage, yeah,
Mm.
and the Mercedes garage was it was a journey because I went with Dad and he was weaving to the bus lane, and I said, "Dad, you're going into the bus lane." He's like, "Oh," pulled out, and then he carried on driving, and I was like, "Okay," and then he said, "I need you in the car next to me." I said, "Why?" He said, "I don't read the signs when I drive," and I was like,
Signs as in sat-nav signs
Oh.
or the signs on the road?
"No, I don't read the signs on the road." That's what he was
I don't
saying.
read
He
the
said, "I
signs
need you here to
because
tell me the right way to go."
No, I don't read the signs because I can't read the signs. I don't understand what they are. I just don't look at them because I don't like looking at them. What do you mean?
He said, "I don't look at them." Basically, that's what he was saying.
Intentionally,
Right.
intentionally doesn't look at the signs.
I don't think he intentionally doesn't look at the signs, but he doesn't look at the signs.
He's
innit,
like,
right?
no, he's a proper man thing. Man, no, I know the way.
So I was like, "Oh my god!" So he wanted me in the front to tell him the way to Swindon, right?
Navigate, you
And
navigate. Yeah,
I'm telling, I was basically his sat nav, yeah.
that's it.
And his sat nav was okay, but didn't have the live traffic updates like Maps does. And
Is
obviously,
it
you're
a
going around the
sat-nav or-
M25.
Like, is it a standalone sat nav or is it built into the car one or like what is it?
It's a built-in one into the car.
Right, new car or old car?
Newish, like 2018.
Yeah, it's new. Has it got CarPlay?
So I'll come to that in a sec, right?
Mm.
I didn't know this, but it did have
Oh,
CarPlay.
no.
Didn't look
Oh,
like
okay.
it.
Okay.
So dad drives there, yeah, and it's a 4-lane motorway, yeah. He's
Right.
driving in the 3rd lane,
So you got to be
right?
quick.
And he's getting overtaken and undertaken, and I'm
What
like,
speed is he doing?
"Dad, you need to change lanes." Like 60, 65, and I'm like, "Dad, you need to change lanes."
You need to be in the slowest
Right,
lane.
and I kind of said like, "Dad, you're being undertaken and overtaken." Sorry, cars are going past you on the left, cars are going past you on
Yeah.
the right.
Yeah,
I said, "You might want to change lanes." He said, "It's not my fault. The car in front's going slow." I was like, "Okay." There's no point in
Interesting
saying
point.
it, innit?
Oh, was that true though?
Huh?
Was that true what he was saying?
Was what true? The car in front was going slow.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the car in
Well-
front moved, and he still stayed in the 3rd lane.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Okay,
He was just hogging the 3rd lane essentially,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was
He
like,
liked
"Okay,
that lane
cool."
for some
Like,
reason.
fine. He loved the lane, right? And I was like, "Man, this isn't good." It's so like to me, it's just like shit. I should really like stick to the highway code. Like always stay in the lane you want to maintain your speed in, and then
As
that
in
way you
you're
stay
getting-
alert when changing lanes.
So you're getting a bit itchy.
I'm getting a bit like itchy. I'm like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool." I'm like, "Look, it's not my car. I can't say anything. I can hint it.
But
That's
it's
it." Yeah.
It's your job. You are the co-pilot. This is the role.
Yeah, you know what though, right? You're in this phase where like you're still the son-in-law, but you don't say anything to upset your father-in-law. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
This is
okay,
interesting. Kenny and I were talking about this yesterday, Indy, and we were saying that actually the father-in-law son-in-law relationship is very unique. And what
It
I
is
found
unique.
is actually you can say probably more directly things, and it's taken in the best way. Like, for example, I might suggest something to Shindy's dad, and he'd be like, "Oh, really? Yeah, that's a good idea," right? And it might be the same advice from Shindy or Amrit, but it's just I don't know. So
But because
I
it
think
came
you're in
from you, he listens, right?
Right, yeah, and I didn't appreciate this, right? Until I saw it with Kenny and my dad.
That is absolutely
I
hilarious.
was like, Dad, I just said the same thing to you. Yeah, and Kenny says it to you, and you're like, oh my God, the bunny. You discovered the cure for cancer? Oh my God. So yeah, I think in a very privileged position. But you're right, it does come with time. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing for me was it wasn't my car in it, so I couldn't say anything, right? I think next time, if it's in like a different car, we're in like neutral settings, I'll say something in it. Yeah.
Hired car,
like
hired vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. A higher vehicle could potentially be the middle ground,
like,
right?
that's a perfect solution.
So I'm like, okay. I thought, okay, fine, this is cool. It's not a problem. We get there, we leave it at a decent time. We come back. On the way back, I said, Dad, I'll drive. Like, I got myself insured on the car the day before. Yeah. Actually, no, on Friday evening, because I wanted to get myself added on the day because he's not used to driving long distances. And I called the insurance company. They wouldn't talk to me. They would only talk to my dad. And they wouldn't talk to Dad properly because he needed my details. So I just called him, merged the call, and he'd never seen anything like it. He was blown away. Like, I merged the call, and the lady on the line was getting all flustered. She was like, can I get the name? And he's like, and he started speaking. I was like, no, Dad, it's my name, right? So I was saying my name.
No, but he's like,
and he was just getting confused.
She can hear me, and I can hear her.
Yeah, exactly. He was
connection running. Oh my God.
When it came to the automated service, he started pressing buttons. I was like, no, Dad, I need to press the buttons. It was so cute, man.
How they direct you.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So yeah, right. So we're driving back, and it's a manual. So I'm like, okay, I haven't driven clutch in like about a while.
Back, yeah?
I'm driving back. Yeah. Because I said, look, I've been insured in the car. May as well drive it back now. And also, I was like, I can't take Dad driving again. I can't do it. Yeah. So I jumped in. I do it, and literally, Karan, he's sitting behind me in the car. Yeah, and I'm looking.
Why behind?
I'm looking. I don't know. It was just where he wanted to sit.
So who's the co-pilot?
Sanj, because she's my co-pilot wherever I go. I'm like, you can tell me the directions.
But
luckily, her sister.
It sounds like your dad, though.
No. So her sister bought. She bought a wire, right, and it was a charging wire, and I plugged it in, and then CarPlay appeared. I was like, oh, wicked CarPlay, boom. So I could get maps in there, and I was like, oh, I don't need Sanj now. It's fine. Like I could just do it casually.
Yeah. And on the big screen.
And Dad's like, how'd you do this? How'd you do this? I was like,
magic.
Yeah, exactly. No idea. Huh? Exactly. So I had to show him, like, if you get his Android and plug it in, it does the same thing. He was like, okay, fine. Yeah. I do not miss driving manual, man. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
No clutch control was okay, but no cruise control. And I noticed how reliant I am on cruise control on long journeys now.
God, yeah, no
having to feather. Like, I did this for like 3-4 years to come and see Sanj in London, right? I was using my old Focus, which was all clutch and feathering. I became used to it. Now I'm like, I can't go back to it, honestly. I've got cruise control, just stick it on, it's easy. So I'm driving, and every time I look in my rearview mirror going, Dad's looking directly forward. He's not looking out the window, he's looking forward. Any mistake, anything, right? I turned onto the motorway at like 45 miles an hour, yeah? And the car like went around and he moved a little bit, and he was like, oh, slow down. I was like, I didn't even go that quick, but all right, cool.
Teri daddy di gaddi lag rahi tanu. Love it, man. Slow down.
Genuinely, it felt like that. I was like, oh, fuck, man.
No, he's thinking you pressed like the ejection seat, man, for his seat. I'm flying out.
Oh, man. Okay. In my head, I was thinking this.
Go on. So his dad's car, he's in the back. He's in the back. Is he wearing a seatbelt, though? Or is he like, you don't need to wear a seatbelt?
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
He's wearing one.
Seatbelt, everything. Whoa, but he wouldn't look out the window. He's looking forward the whole time, right? No, and one time I was talking to Aki and Sanj, and I was driving, and I forgot how quickly I was going. No, I was looking forward, but I forgot to look down for like a few seconds. And naturally, when you talk, your foot starts accelerating a little bit more. So I hit like 77 miles an hour. It's like in the V speed. I was like, oh, yeah, sorry. And I was like, geez. I'm like, oh, it's like this now. Okay, I just got to keep it to 70 feather the whole way.
It does like tail, petrol free. Good.
So yeah, it was a 2.5 hour driving test, man. I hope I pass with flying colours, but I don't know, man. I was like, yo, I can't do that again. Next time we're doing that journey, we'll go in my car. All right, my car's in for repairs, but next time I will go in my car.
You need control.
I'll do the drive there and back. I'll use cruise control, no problems. Just let me do my thing, please.
I think Shindy and I are this way as well. When we have the scenarios where somebody's needed to drive,
Yeah.
one thing is if you're gonna have a full car, the most comfortable position is the front two, right?
Of course it is.
So for me, if I drive, I know it's my car, I know my car play, I can control the music. Like I just like having that control.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I actually volunteer a lot, and Shindy's exactly the same way. But yeah, that
Yeah.
does sound that sounds good, man. We should get a camera set up in that car, man. Just
That
to
would
get
have been
that
impressive,
commentary, you know,
honestly.
like he has to have like a word with Sanjay afterwards, like gaddi chalana diya pass hota nahi. Translation, guys. Sanjay's dad saying to Sanjay, like, does he know how to drive a car? Has he passed his test? Did he cheat? Are you safe when you're with him?
Second time.
That's pretty good, man. Took me 3.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, okay, cool, happy days. Did it? That was an experience. I will never do that again. But I feel like I learned a lot about Sanjay's dad on that journey. That's it.
Highway code. I love that. He's like, main but sign nahi dekhda. He's like, son, I don't know the
Honestly.
signs." I love that.
And the worst thing is, right, I was saying, Dad, next, I was like, your left is coming soon. He's like, this left. I was like, no. It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Oh,
Okay,
you
this
don't
left. I was
know.
like, Dad,
No.
I will tell you. I'm just getting you ready. Left turn coming, okay? I'll tell you when. He's like, okay,
What
okay.
does the sat nav say, man? You need to adopt the sat nav in da 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 da. Right? You got to give him the
No,
range, man.
because he said he couldn't hear the sat nav. She wasn't loud enough.
No, I'm saying in the way a sat nav will give you like a range, right? In so many yards.
I was
or so
doing
many
that.
meters.
No, I was doing that.
You said close, man. You said next or close or
No. That was me later on. At the beginning, I was like,
yeah.
okay, Dad. In next roundabout, you're going to go straight over. He
Right.
was like,
this is
okay.
right. This is a good point. When you're navigating and you're at roundabout, do you say the exit number or do you say left, straight, right?
Depends on how many exits. If there's 5 exits, I'll be like third exit, fourth exit.
Yeah, okay.
Because
fine. So there's
technically
only
the
3.
third exit is straight over, but it's confusing. If there's 3, I'm like, yeah, left,
You're
right,
gonna-
straight.
Yeah, left, right, straight. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
But I'll tell him like the lane to get into ahead of the next turn off. Because there was one where you do like a left and then a quick right. And I was like, stay in this middle lane. And he was like, why? I said, because you're going to turn right in a second. He was like, here. I said, no, just stay in this lane. Right? And this is towards the end of the journey. I was like, I can't do this on the way back. I can't do it.
Drive
Can't.
into the roundabout, into the middle of the roundabout, please.
Yeah, boss, that's fine.
Park the car here, and we are done.
Oh man, I love him to bits. Honestly, it was an experience and a half. That's definitely something that's
I
an
think
experience
we've,
everyone should encounter, eh?
I think we founded a new segment. Chronicles
Which
of
one?
Father-in-law.
Yeah,
You've got the plumbing
Chronicles of
now. You've got
Father-in-Law.
driving. Like you could do a whole show on this.
There you go, man.
Excellent.
I'm telling you,
And,
Indian dads are good content. All of our Indian dads are good content. They are, man.
And you know what's interesting about you is both dads
Yeah.
for you have so much content.
They're both entertaining. Yeah.
Oh man, I was just when we were talking about holes in the boxes, I was thinking about that Lakers top that your dad wears when that's gonna get holes.
It wasn't even a Lakers top, man. It was.
Oh, sorry, what was it?
It was
Purple
this
something.
rare Michael Jordan top I found
That was it.
in New York, and it was like purple and white. I could envision it clearly in my head. It's purple and white. I lost it for
With a
years.
bug
I used to
on.
wear it to
Yeah.
I used to wear it to basketball practice, right? And I didn't see it. One day I see him just walk downstairs, and he's got it on super tight, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What? It's nice. It's good for my back. It keeps me warm." I'm like, "That's my shirt, right?" Just so upset. And then after that, I was like, "It's screwed now. That's it. It's stretched. It's gone."
तू मेरे घर च रहना मेरी घर दी रोटी खाना मैनू कहना कपड़े पाए हैं सालिया
Not anymore. Not anymore.
look at you look you're not even married I got my own house yeah I got my own clothes
That's it. Done. I got my own space. My rules, all right? My house, my rules. Okay.
Oh we haven't touched upon this. Have your parents visited the flat?
Yeah, my mum came when Dad was in India, and they're coming down this weekend.
Come on. Oh yes, right. Content next week, man. Dad visits the flat. I love it, man. I'm gonna.
Dad's coming to the flat.
I need to
Dad's
ring your
coming
dad.
to the flat.
I need to ring your dad. Tell him to do some stuff, right? Just. I'm like, Master ji, Indy ne kya na? Unhu help चाहिए decoration ਨਾਲ, है ना? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਨਾ.
Do you know what I actually need, Karan?
Go on.
I need. Have you got that spare? Have you got that spare suit thing? You know, the suitcase.
Carrier.
No, the suit bag.
The suit carrier.
Yeah, the suit bag, the blue and gold one.
It's called a suit carrier.
I'll just call it a suit bag, but okay.
We're
Are
gonna go
you
this
using
game.
it?
Yeah. It's currently not in Warsaw. It's in Surrey. But I have bags available. I have multiple bags, different various bags.
If you can, drop
Yeah.
one off at my mum's for this week. Yeah. Because she's coming on Sunday, and then she can bring it down. Because I need to take it to Scotland. I haven't got one here. The one I've got, the zip's bust. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You're gonna have to remind me. But that
We'll liaise after the call.
Oh, you have to send me a calendar invite, and then we will liaise. Kindly.
Then you can go and see my
kindly,
dad. All right.
Kindly. Oh, yeah, I'm going to time to do
Then
things.
you can go and see my dad. All right.
I'll time to wear that top.
Give us some little tips. But on Sunday, it's going to be Sanj's dad, my dad, and my mum and me, and Sanj in the flat. It's going to be an experience.
Yes.
It's going to
Get
be
some
an
camera
experience.
set up, man. Let's do a live podcast. Let's see Indy's face.
Oh God.
Please don't touch anything. Please. Sip your tea in silence.
Oh,
you're going to
God.
leave and go to the room for quiet time.
I'm going red. This is how worried I am. I'm actually going red.
This is so good. I'll meet the parents.
Oh, Jesus. And I'm wearing a pink top, which makes it look so much worse.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All
your
right.
face is
Let's
colour
cut
of
the
top
segment there and we'll
Okay.
move on. All right, Karan. Dr. Chronicles, go.
Theo, this week I had a young gentleman. He was 23 years old. He came in. Now, as one of my roles is when people come into hospital, so they can walk into A&E or they can come by obviously an ambulance. I don't get involved in the ambulance side, but the walk-ins are kind of my, bread and butter. And the first thing we need to do is obviously make sure we are allocating the right resource. What that means is asking the question, do you need to be in hospital, right? If you do need to be in hospital, who needs to see you? Is it an A&E doctor needs to see you? Does a specialty doctor need to see you? Can a GP see you? When I say GP, not talking about their normal GP. We have GPs on site, and we have lots of other kind of supporting services. This is all the stuff that Sanj talks about as well. And so generally, when the names pop up on the screen and it's a younger person, generally we will stereotype to think that actually if it's a younger person, probably not going to have anything wrong with them. Obviously, an elderly person is much more likely to have something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Part of what I do is when the nurses are doing a triage. So triage is when they take the observations to check are they very, very unwell based on their numbers as parameters, and obviously have a little bit of the story about why you're here essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I on the other side will be essentially stalking them, looking up all their medical letters, why they've come before, trying to paint a picture of who's this person. Obviously, somebody's got no medical records is obviously a lot healthier generally. Okay, not always the case. And somebody who's got lots of letters, we can kind of start to build a story. A lot of people often present with the same thing again and again, so it gives us clues in that sense and blah, blah, blah. So this young 23-year-old had loads of letters from cardiology, so heart specialty. And then so I started reading about him, and I was like, okay, this dude's, he's not like someone I can just say, yeah, you don't need to be here. I will really need to think about what we should do with him. So he has a condition called an AVRT. And AVRT stands for atrioventricular, I say RT. AVNT, sorry, not RT, AVNT. Atrioventricular nodal tachycardia, reentrant tachycardia, okay? And basically what that means is your heart has 4 chambers, to the top, to the bottom, okay? And there is a set pathway of electricity that passes. That means that the top contract, pump blood into the bottom, and then the bottom contract and pump blood to the rest of your body.
Yeah.
That's normally how the heart works. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then obviously you get the dub 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 dub, which is the heart sounds, which is the valves closing. That's where you get those sounds. So there's a given set pathway for electricity, but there are conditions where you get what we call an accessory pathway. So outside the normal path of electricity, you can have another pathway which is unregulated. And because unregulated, not governed, very, very dangerous because the heart can go berserk. So, for example, the reason why your average heart rate is 72 beats a minute, what we quote, is because this electrical pathway has pauses and blocks built in that mean it doesn't go like 400 beats a minute. It's all designed specifically that way, right? But this other pathway, unregulated, okay, so which means it can just do whatever it wants. There's no checks, there's no nothing. So he had another pathway on the side. And the thing, they say electricity will take the path of least resistance, or water will take the path of least resistance. That's exactly what happens again with the heart. So if the heart has a chance to jump on this other pathway, it's unregulated. It's like, yep, I'm not going down this one. This one's got too many blocks and stops. I'm going to go down this one. And so this dude, when his heart goes into that pathway, it goes faster and faster and faster and go berserk. So his heart could go up to 170, 180, 200, 250 beats a minute.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Without any exercise?
Yeah, he's like, he could just be sitting there and go... So this is old, so we knew about this already, and he'd had an operation which is called an ablation. An ablation is where we burn that pathway. So they go in, they isolate where that, what we call the aberrant pathway is, where the naughty pathway is. They isolate it and then they burn it. By burning it, you're then saying, you're forcing the heart to go back to the normal pathway. So we'd had the ablation. That was earlier this year. And he'd come in. He said, "Oh, Jazz, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was about to go to sleep, and I just felt some palpitations. That's when your heart races like boom, 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 boom." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So when everyone tells me, they got palpitations, my question generally is, were you doing something when they happened, or were you just completely at rest? In general, a palpitation that comes on with exertion, with exercise, is generally considered more dangerous, and I'll touch upon that in a second. And the second thing is, did you pass out or feel like you're going to pass out? If your heart rate goes fast enough, okay, what happens is your heart does not have enough time to fill properly. If your heart doesn't fill properly, there's not enough blood that comes out of the heart. Blood pressure is determined by how much blood that comes out of the heart. Okay, so if you haven't got enough blood coming out of the heart, blood pressure is low. If there's not enough blood going to your brain, you pass out. That's what fainting is. Okay, so if somebody says to me, actually, when my heart goes really quick, I feel dizzy, like I'm going to pass out. That's a concern. I'm like, oh, okay, this is something we need to sort out. Okay, because there are a lot of people who can have palpitations like after coffee or Red Bull, and it's not that concerning, and they're fine, and it settles on its own. So the third question is, so how long did it last? And he goes, well, normally, they last about 5 minutes and they go away on their own. I'm not concerned. He was like, this went on for 2 hours. I was like, oh shit, that's quite a lot. And I said, have you got them now? And he said, no, I haven't got them now. And then we did the ECG, which is the recording of the heart when you put the stickers on the chest. And at that point, when he was sitting right in front of me, he wasn't in the funny rhythm. So the ECG looked completely normal, but it's not the whole story, right? Obviously, the ECG is only as good as when we, at that moment, in that second, it will capture what's in that second. If you're not having the symptom, if you haven't got the fluttering of the heart, then it's not going to capture anything. He had what we call an ILR, implantable loop recorder. So it's a little device about this big. We put it under the skin. It can live there for years. So he'd had it for 6 years. And essentially, it just records the heart, and then it gets recorded remotely. And then if he feels something, he can basically press a button, and then we will start
and say log it.
Yeah, exactly. Log it, and then it'll get looked at. And so, I rang my guys in cardiology. I said, look, I got this kid here. He's got this, and this. He's had this. These symptoms are pretty concerning. Like, I need to know, can you interrogate the device? Which means, can you look at between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m.? Tell me what happened. Right, what's on the recording? And so they come back to me a few hours later. The patient's moved at this point, so I've got him to the right areas. But I'm still following him up because I like to know what happens with my patients. And I'm like, yeah, Jazz, his heart went berserk, man. He went like to 222. And I was like, yo,
222 beats a minute.
Yeah, that's quick, man. And I was like, okay. Like, again, he's a young person.
What's the max a heart can go to?
That's a good question. Generally, what we get taught is it's 220 minus your age should be your maximum heart rate. Okay, so you can work out what yours is. Yeah, so his is going faster than that.
Yeah.
23. It's fast. You can't sustain that. Had he stayed in that, then the heart would just stop at some point. But he's been given a tablet which you can take when it goes a bit berserk, and he took that and looked like.
Can your heart explode? Is that possible?
Heart doesn't explode; it just stops.
Oh, mad. Okay.
So
wow.
Right. So, and the reason for that is, or you can have a heart attack as well. The heart gives blood to the rest of the body. Everyone knows that. The heart also gives blood to itself. That's what most people don't know. Right?
Yeah.
So if your heart rate goes fast, the filling time of the heart, so that's when the heart, remember that the heart has two functions. It fills and then it pumps. It fills and it pumps. If the filling time is reduced, there's no filling, then there's nothing to pump out, right? And we talked about blood pressure and feeling dizzy. But the other thing here is, in the filling phase of the heart is when the heart actually gives blood to itself. So if the filling time is reduced, the time that the heart has to give itself blood is reduced. If there's no blood going to the heart, that's what a heart attack is. That's exactly what a heart attack is. So yes, your heart can just stop. So so then we got him upstairs to the cardiology. We spoke to his consultant, and we tweaked his medicines. And now they're considering doing another ablation, another operation to burn one of those pathways. So that was a good learning point. And the point here was, again, a young person can obviously have serious medical issues. And on the face of it, although he looked well, the numbers are fine, the ECG was fine. Now, you've got to have what we call a high index of suspicion based on the questions you ask. So the story, there are things in the story which are concerning to me, even though he looked fine now, right? And it's those patients, it's not very easy. It's easier to take someone more seriously when they're ill right in front of you. Like your temperature is 40 degrees, your blood pressure is 70. Like, you're unwell. I can see you're unwell. Your numbers are telling me, they're validating you're unwell. It's when I've got a story. Remember, stories are subjective. So this all then depends on the quality of the question. Which questions are you asking? And that's why those things are really important. Now, something else which is really important. So there are patients who can have these palpitations and the heart goes fast, and they ask me, Jazz, what can I do at home? There are 3 things you can do at home, okay, to try and slow your heart rate down. So imagine, you've got your Apple Watch, your phone is telling you your heart rate's going fast, and you've got a medical condition that means that sometimes your heart rate goes fast. How can you lower it down? First thing is what we call a carotid massage. So in your neck, you've got this pulse, the carotid pulse, right?
Yeah.
Supplies the brain. What you want to do on one side, not both sides, one side, you just want to start. So you find the pulse first, 2 fingers. Find the pulse, okay? And then start massaging it. Okay, that's the first thing. I'll explain how all these work in a second. So that's number 1. Second thing you can do is you can take an empty syringe. So I normally give patients a syringe before they go home. And I say on the end of it, just try and blow. So blow into the syringe. Second thing. Third thing is get anything cold from your freezer and stick it on the end of your nose. Very effective. People can do this at home. Everything we're trying to do is to increase what we call the vagal tone. So we have the vagus nerve, which decreases heart rate. So I'm trying to promote the activity of the vagus nerve. And those 3 things can do that. And what I'm trying to do therefore, if I increase the activity of the vagal nerve or the vagus tone, it will decrease heart rate. So you'll start dropping it. And sometimes it can be enough that you don't need to go to hospital. So those are 3 quick, easy things. Now, I'm not saying don't seek medical attention. I'm just saying this is something you could do in the meanwhile and still, call 111 or see a GP or whatever you need to do. But yeah, those are my 3 tips on if you have a fast heart rate.
So, thing on face, cold press on face.
Yep. Nose.
Massage neck.
Nose specifically.
Yeah, nose.
Yep.
Massage neck. And what's the third one?
It's called do a Valsalva. Yeah, third one. So the Valsalva maneuver. That's what I was describing. So blowing. It's kind of like when you
blow into a bag.
No, not blowing into a bag. Like if you're trying to open your ears when they pop, and you do that.
Oh yeah.
That kind of forced. That's a Valsalva maneuver. You do that, and the syringe helps you do that. So that's really handy.
But if you don't have a syringe, you can just do the first.
Yeah, you do the other 2. Yeah, absolutely, exactly. Simple things. This is without medication. The other learning point, guys, is chest pain, right? So everybody gets worried about chest pain, and you watch enough adverts, they'll tell you chest pain, call 999, could be a heart attack. True, but not every chest pain is a heart attack, okay? So the things to worry about, if you think you're having a heart attack or you think you're developing angina, which is the medical word for chest pain, which is caused by blockage in the heart, then we will always ask you, are your symptoms exertional? Okay, so if you came in today and you said, oh yeah, I'm having chest pain, I'll say, okay, fine. So have you been having this chest pain before today? That's the first thing. You can have a random heart attack, but most likely you've been having symptoms that are building up, right? And then I'll always say to you, right, this is my key question. What is your main form of exercise? You'll always hear me asking this, and they'll say, okay, I walk. I say, right, do you walk every day? And say, yeah, I walk every day, or 3 times a week, whatever it is. When you walk, how long do you walk for? 30 minutes. Okay. When you are walking for 30 minutes, 3 times a week for the last 1 month, during the walking, does it bring on chest pain? This is the key question. So I'm trying to elicit whether the exertion is bringing on the pain. And then if you say, yes, actually it does, then I'll say, okay, if you stop, does the pain go away? So I'm trying to see, is it relieved by rest? Okay. So I'm trying to work out, because I know there's loads of different causes of chest pain, things that don't worry me. So like muscular chest pain, acid reflux, inflammation, they're fine. They don't need emergency care. But if I'm trying to work out, well, is this coming from your heart? These are the things, guys. So if you're having pain like this, this is the time when you should be seeing your doctor. Like I had a guy on a couple of days ago, who again is quite young, and he's 45 years old. Has already had 3 heart attacks, has 4 stents. 3 heart attacks, 4 stents. Asian guy, so not pre-diabetic, probably diabetic now. Probably got a genetic predisposition as well. Key thing though, he's a smoker. This is the problem, right? And the reason, guys, everyone who wonders why is smoking bad, and we all talk about lung cancer, this is why smoking is bad for your heart, okay? You have 3 vessels of the heart, what we call the coronary vessels, okay? These supply the heart. These are the ones that when you get a blockage, you get a heart attack. Now, when you start getting a blockage in any of these arteries because of age or whatever it might be, okay, just natural stuff, not anything else, your body's very clever. What it will do is, so if the blockage is this bit here on my finger, the vessel in your body will build a little bypass of its own. It will try and bypass the blockage. A new vessel will form.
Jeez.
Okay? When you smoke, you switch off the production of that new vessel formation. That's the first thing that smoking does. The second thing is the rate at which the blockage is occurring doubles, triples, much, much faster. That's why smoking is doubly bad. The rate at which you're getting a blockage in the vessel is accelerated. And what your body would do to combat that with the bypass, these other vessels that come around the outside, turns off the production. It is a killer. I said to this guy, stop smoking. Like, that is the single biggest intervention. You're on all these medications or whatever, but stop smoking.
Is it the fumes that are causing that, or is it nicotine and everything else? What actually is it?
The tobacco. It's
the tobacco itself.
Yeah. It's the plaque which is forming inside the vessel, what we call atherosclerosis, the buildup of the plaque. It's contributing to that at an abnormal rate.
Wow, that's mad.
There you go.
Well, there you go, man.
There you go.
Signs for chest pain.
Signs
Cheers,
of
doctor.
chest pain. Yeah, thank you.
Next segment. All right, last segment. Yeah, I had a thought the other day.
You had a thought.
How do the tubes run? Like, how are they powered? Obviously, it's electricity.
Electricity.
Yeah? I just thought, okay, cool, electricity blanket done. But how much electricity is it? Like, how much does it take to run the tubes for a year? So I've got some stats here, right? I want to just read them out to you. It blew me away. All right. So basically, at a top level, the tube uses 1.2 terawatt hours a year. Bear with me, I'll come to that as what that is. Yeah. But that's enough power to keep electricity going in 360,000 homes in 2018. Now, that number's probably changed now because, you know, things have increased in price. Who knows? But that's how much it is. Yeah. All right. So bring it to a base level to help people understand how much 1.2 terawatt hours is. Yeah. A light bulb normally takes 15 watts to power, and that's for 1 hour.
1 hour. Okay.
Yeah. So if you leave a light bulb on for 2 hours, that's 30 kilowatts an hour, or 30 watts an hour, basically, right? But kilowatts an hour is similar to like miles an hour, basically. Yeah.
Right.
Think of it in that way. Okay. 1 terawatt is 1 trillion watts.
Trillion.
That's 12 zeros
That's a lot
at the end. So a million is 6, a billion is 9, a trillion is 12. Yeah. Okay. So let's think of it this way. A kettle is 1500 watts to power it. That's 1500 watts for 1 hour of usage.
Right.
To have the same equivalence of 1.2 terawatt hours a year, that is 666.6 million kettles going off constantly for a year.
Constantly.
Yeah. Light bulbs, that's 66.6 billion light bulbs going off constantly for 1 year.
That's the tube. Wow.
So a terawatt hour is the unit used for watts an hour. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I thought that is mind-boggling how much electricity the tubes are using to run. It's technically clean, but I just thought that's so much fucking electricity. Honestly, like if there's a power outage, everything's fucked. Everything bond.
And you mean as in, I mean, emergency power would go to emergency services.
Yeah, it would for a little bit, but you haven't got enough to power it for that long.
Oh, you mean like apocalypse?
But that blew me away, man. I couldn't get over that. Like, that's so much electricity.
That's a lot of bulbs, man.
That's a lot of bulbs and kettles happening in the background. Yeah, I just thought if I bring it to like a normal device and help people understand
that's
that.
perfect, man. That's exactly.
That's the easiest way of phrasing it, because your mind can't compute how many zeros it is.
Yeah. It's like even when you say about money, isn't it? Like,
no, but now it can.
£1 trillion. Like, I can't comprehend what that looks like.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, cool. And you see the zeros, you're like, okay, the zeros have to be like odd numbers for me to understand how things are going to look. And then if I start spending money, I see that the last figures go down, and then it makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. There you go. But that's it. I just wanted to share that. I was blown the fuck away by that, man.
That's a lot.
Tubes are expensive mode of transport, electricity-wise. But it ain't coal. And it's not fuel.
Fossil fuel.
So,
exactly. It's the future, isn't it?
I guess there's positives
I
to
if they have like
next thing I was thinking was how's electricity generated, but that's like another thing. I'll come
well,
to
no, I was thinking maybe they have like I don't know if you've seen that film. I can't remember the film now. But like fields of these solar panel fields, like massive. Just
I've seen those.
Yeah. So that kind of like setup for the tube, for example. I don't know. They must have some direct thing for it.
Unreal, isn't it, man? But there we go. That concludes the question I had for the week. I did some research, figured it out. Expenditure Doctor blew his mind. Let us know if that blew your mind in the comments. drop us a comment, like, share, subscribe. Give us a shout. Let us know your thoughts on the new format. And we will catch you next week in a bit.
Yeah.